Hey guys, we're back for another episode here of the Breakdown series. We have the number one team in the AFC South, and it's going to be Jacksonville coming in. Somehow Blake Bortles has got an 80 overall. I mean, alright, whatever floats your boat there, but definitely going to be a position of concern for you. Blake Bortles is also getting up there in age, but I mean, when you're playing against him in Madden, for some reason it's like he's the freaking best, but probably when you're playing with him, he's not going to be that good, so I would look to replace him. 80 overall. He's a little older, so I don't know how the upgrading system is going to be for older players, but probably going to be a position that you want to look to upgrade, so that's probably going to be a negative for right now. So moving on. Moving on to running backs here. I like the running backs they got. You obviously got Leonard Fournette, who's a beast. You got TJ Yeldon, who I also like, and then you got Corey Grant, who has some massive speed to that running back position. He'll be a good return guy for you. He'll be a good just speed threat out of the backfield if you want to change it up. I really like what they got going here in Jacksonville at the running back position. There's really no negatives there. Leonard Fournette's obviously a beast. You won't need to upgrade the running back position. The whole rebuild, if you can keep him, should be able to upgrade and do a monstrous running back for you. He's already monstrous. I mean, he already has real good trucking, good juke. He has good speed to be a power back. Really everything you'd want in a running back he has, so there's no negatives there. That's only going to be a positive for the running backs. Moving on. Alright, moving on to pass catchers here. For wide receiver, they lost Allen Robinson in free agency. It was a pretty big loss. You know, AR-15, he was real good. But they do have Dede Westbrook. They picked up Austin Seferian-Jenkins, Keelan Cole, who really connected with Blake Bortles last year. I personally think you're going to need to get a wide receiver. I like Dede Westbrook. I think he will definitely be a number 2 or 3 receiver for you, your whole rebuild. Austin Seferian-Jenkins I also like for the tight end position, but I do think you will need to upgrade your wide receiver. If you can keep Austin Seferian-Jenkins, I think he can develop into something good for you, because in my Jets series I was playing in Madden 18, he developed into a beast, but we'll see. Hopefully he will develop, but for wide receivers, you have Keelan Cole and Dede Westbrook. They have about an 80 overall, and I think they were undrafted last year, which was pretty crazy, but they should be serviceable for you to start. I definitely think you're going to need, one of them could be your number 1 receiver, but you're either going to need to get a number 1 or 2 receiver in the draft or free agency. But those 2 receivers should be able to be on your team throughout the whole rebuild and be good for you. So moving on to the next position. Looking at offensive linemen for you here, your left tackle is definitely going to need to be replaced. You're going to want to actually find one as soon as you can. Love the pickup of Andrew Norwell in free agency. Should really help the run game. You got a good center. Your right guard and right tackle is a little bit shaky, so overall, your left tackle, you're good. The position you should be able to keep throughout your rebuild at a pretty good playing rate, like they'll be good players for you, is definitely going to be Andrew Norwell, your left guard, and then your center. The position you're going to need to replace pretty much immediately is going to be tackle spots and right guard. It's going to be the offensive lineman you have that's good should help your run game out, but if you want to get that pass game going up in Jacksonville, you want to definitely focus those tackles. That's going to be a big area of concern, considering the defense you got in that division with the good defensive people, and then just your right guard maybe to finish out that run game. But so that's probably going to be a negative for me so far, but I like the moves they did make for Andrew Norwell, and you should be able to improve upon that and see what you can do in the offseason. Moving on to the next category. Looking at the defensive line for the Jags, I mean, it's really just going to be ferocious. You got Calais Campbell coming off a career year. Substitution as a Dante Fowler. Yannick Ngakoue, who has nasty finesse move. Defensive tackle position, Marcel Darius. I mean, come on, bro. And then they drafted a good defensive tackle for rotation. So your defensive tackle and defensive end spot should really be good. I mean, I see him. I mean, Calais Campbell's getting up there in age. Maybe see if you can find some replacements right now, but definitely not anytime soon. He should be playing at a high level for you. Yane Ngakwe is young. He should last your whole rebuild. Marcel Darius is good. You should have a solid 3 or 4 years of just ferociousness, just getting after the pass rusher with the same people you have, as long as no injury bug strikes. You should have a good 3 or 4 years of just wreaking havoc on whoever you go against with that defensive line. Plus the substitutions they have, I mean, come on, dude. It's almost unfair at how good it's going to be, because they're going to be fresh. You have substitutions. Your substitutions are almost like people's starters on some teams. So it's going to get crazy. So only positives for that, for them, for their defensive line. Moving on to the next position. Alright, looking at the linebacking group for the Jaguars, you got Miles Jack, who is a beast. He's young. He's already an 84 overall. If you just upgrade that tackling a little bit, he's already good. I mean, you got speed. He should be there your whole rebuild, definitely, and is going to be an elite player. The linebackers, you got Telvin Smith, who's also an elite player, 90 overall. He's got good speed, good overall player. I'd put him as an elite 4-3 linebacker. You got tackling with him. You got good block shedding, good zone coverage. Same with Miles Jack. Maybe just work on that block shedding and tackling a bit, but other than that, he's a beast. Your middle linebacker is the only position I would look to upgrade since Paul Pelesny retired. You're going to need to find a replacement definitely for middle linebacker, so that should probably be up there as one of the biggest concerns besides offensive linemen. So I would say, as of right now, target offensive linemen first, and then see if you can maybe find a middle linebacker to go along with that good linebacking core they already have in Jacksonville. Alright, now taking a look at the cornerbacks. I mean, what else is there to say other than just that's insane? You got Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye. Jalen Ramsey is going to be a monster. I mean, well, he's going to be. He is a monster. Already got the speed, man coverage, awareness, zone coverage, press. He's got good strength. He's kind of got good tackling for a cornerback. Not much else you can ask for. He's got his speedy cornerback. AJ Boye is a little slow, but he's going to be your number 2, so he should be able to guard well. The number 2 receiver is real well. He's a good cornerback. Not really any negatives to say other than maybe just finding a nickel cornerback, but other than that, your cornerback should last for a while. The only problem I see with the Jags right now is just going to be their cap on how they're going to pay all these good players, because they're real good. No negatives to say other than maybe just search for a nickel cornerback. Alright, moving on to the last position. Alright, taking a look at the last position here, the safety group. They got good, decent safeties. They're all 80 overalls. The problem is, yeah, they're going to be good, but they are up there in age, so I would probably look to find replacements for them. They're good for right now, but they are up there in age, both the safeties, so look to replace the safeties, but they're still good right now for however long they last. If they retire or start regressing, your first season, I mean, they'll be good. So the only negative is for them age, but other than that, there's no negatives for the safeties. They're good players, not elite. I'd say they're above average. So altogether, Jacksonville, looking back, the only positions of concern is going to be your quarterback position, your tackles, and then just your right guard, but definitely tackles and the middle linebacker. I'd say the biggest position of concern is going to be tackles. You're going to want to try to address that as soon as possible. And then, I mean, the positives just far outweigh any kind of negatives that there could be. The defense is probably the best in the NFL. If I had to pick what the ratings they got, I mean, in Madden, it's the best. Yeah, really no bad things to say. It's just going to be real fun to play with. The only concern I would have is cap room. How much money are they going to have to re-sign all these players? Because Jalen Ramsey's going to need to get re-signed. Miles Jack. AJ Boye's contract isn't going to last forever. Leonard Fournette. I mean, you got some people you're going to have to re-sign, so keep that in mind as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying this series I'm doing, and I will see you guys next time. If you are enjoying, hit that sub button for your boy, and be nasty with it.